Yo, yo, yo. I'm just chilling right now. Okay, well, hold on then. Hold on, please. You guys gather your thoughts, gather amongst yourselves. The Earl Army is in the motherfucking house. Here comes the toilet. What up? What up? We got 17 people in the house. I'm feeling it tonight. Sorry about the rough start, but LA traffic is a bitch. And now you guys, shout out to my main man, the most hated man in LA Kings hockey right now, Pierre-Luc Dubois. I'm just chilling right now. Operating on a few energy drinks. This is DD Ramon, baby cakes. Now, here's a cool shirt. I don't want to blow her up, but my friend was recently at the Gary Newman concert and got me this. You know, Gary Newman sang that song, Here in My Cars. Do 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 do. That does look like Keith Richards, but it is, I believe, Dee Ramone. It's a John Varvatos shirt. Hey, we got 35 people in here. I think I found my new time slot. 6 likes. Come on, guys. I don't ask for super chats or panhandle for money, honey, but come on, man. All right, we just dropped 5 people. That's all right. I'm into a new thing. It's called the hour and a half stream. Well, I don't know a good slot, or else I would do it more often. But yeah, I mean, Gary Newman, welcome, beloved chatter. You know, we've got some streaming all stars in the house. Got Chris Mack. Welcome, everybody. Kip Smith, my moderator. I really only like Cars by Gary Newman, but you know, he's an iconic MLC Nico host. Yes, that is my name, Earl Skakel. All right, let me get my food out of the microwave. And, you know, I apologize for you guys watching me eat. But the LA traffic was so much I couldn't get home in time to eat off camera. replace one energy drink with the other. Fentanyl kicking in. I don't do fentanyl. Let's do a taste bite. It might be a little too hot still. Not too bad. I'll try and take baby bites so you don't see food squashing in and out of my mouth. This is the stream that is about everything and nothing at the same time. This might be my new time slot, 5 p.m. I don't know who else is. Oh, Pam, I am. Well, we won't do a ray gun with that, but please, everyone, whatever your religious beliefs are or whatever, prayers and well wishes requested for Saint Ranger, who has been in the hospital. Pam I Am has been a longtime supporter of the Earlverse. So, you know, even if you're not religious, just say to yourself, you know, you hope he gets better, whatever is wrong. And on a much lighter note, no, this is not Stouffer's. I am one of the celebrity ambassadors for Fit to Go Foods in West Hollywood. Of course, if you're not in Los Angeles, I don't think they do national orders, but it's basically healthy eating, low sodium. I'm eating right now the chicken pesto dish. And usually I don't eat on camera, but Fit to Go Foods, West Hollywood. You can follow them on Instagram and just tell them I sent you. And, you know, even if you can't order food from them and you can just follow them on Instagram and hit likes or whatever when they post something, it helps them, you know, in the, I guess you'd say, they take care of me. They give me a gigantic discount. How wide can you? Easy. Come on, man. This is a friendly chat. We don't talk about the sexual proclivities. Do we? Is that a troll in there? I don't. I just see a blank picture. I told them you sent me, and they made me wash dishes. Come on, man. But you know, I encourage. Oh, let me take that back. I don't encourage trolls, but you know, I don't ban them from chat. I feel bad about eating. We're a friendly stream in here. Easy, 1, 2, 3. Settle down. I don't have a big mouth. You'd think I would with all the shit I talk, but I don't. I'm just kidding, bro. Or girl. You could be a girl. I mean, it's probably not likely, but you know. But thank you for sending the well wishes towards, you know, Saint Ranger, and you know, I want this to be a little family in here. Yes, Dr. Nova. Be cool. Be cool. Okay. Well, I don't like eating on camera, but I'm so hungry. I'm gonna have a busy night. What up, sour milk? I realize that this is not appealing for you guys to watch me eat, and I apologize. And if this is disgusting to you, then, I'm sure someone else is streaming right now. Earl can eat a hot dog sideways. I don't even know what that means, but it's funny. I always thought a gay guy would kill it in a hot dog eating contest. 40 in the hand, 40 in the mouth, and 40 in the ass. There is not, it's a chicken marsala. It's very good. Oh, hold on, man. I got TVs coming on. I don't know what's going on. SXFD7, $1.99. Eat up. You're going Broadway tonight. Coco beware. You know, my brother. And here's the funny thing. I was with my friend at the dog park yesterday, and there's this older dude, very nice guy, and he gets up to leave, and it was the singer from the Tubes. Step right up and don't be shy, because you will not believe your eyes. She's right here behind the glass, and you're gonna like her because she's got class. And I talked to him for a few minutes. He's a very nice guy, the great Fee Wable. I always see him around town, and he's... Check out the Tubes if you have not done so already. I got something down south for you, Lion. We got a celebrity in the stream. The great Jordan Lee. I met her on the strip. It was another lost weekend. She won't even miss me when she's gone. But that's okay for me. I'll carry on. I lost a little bit of my love for the Tubes when Vince Welnick left. He was one of the original keyboard players, and he later went to the Grateful Dead, and then he has a song, I believe it's called I Don't Want to Wait Anymore, or Can't Wait Anymore. It's really good. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that he wrote Vixen's big hit On the Edge of a Broken Heart with Richard Marx. Am I wrong on that, William Zoom, while I take another bite? Thank you, SXFD. That $1.99 pays for this meal. I don't have any Billy Barty stories, to be honest with you. You'd think I would have run across him. He was great in Foul Play. And check out Jordan's newest video meeting the icon, Sting. Very good. And once again, I apologize for eating on camera. It's very rude of me. Now, there's two songs called Edge of a Broken Heart. There's the one Vixen sang, and then there's the underrated version that Bon Jovi sang on the soundtrack of Disorderlies, one of the great 80s bomb movies. It's a guilty pleasure with, I believe, who was the old dude from Trading Places? Ralph Bellamy was in it. Can you imagine Ralph Bellamy's agent going, "Hey, we got this movie for you, Ralph. It's been a minute. The three leads are these guys called the." Austin received my leather pants very nicely. Now in the summer, I hear it's scorching hot in Austin, so I'm not sure I will be doing that. I mean, I like the drummer from Vixen. What's her name? Roxy. I like the Fat Boys. I mean, I don't know how they're looked at by serious rap fans, but their video with Chubby Checker, the twist, and the human beatbox. Although I think the human beatbox allegedly was a child predator. I think something went down there. I don't think the Fat Boys had a drummer. Or am I William Zoom? Did the Fat Boys have a drummer? I know the outfield a blind keyboard player. I always thought that was a gimmick. Like I thought, oh, they're just, it was the '80s. So I just thought, oh, this guy's not blind, and then it turns out he was blind. I got to be honest with you, Jordan. Disorderlies is no booty call. I'm being serious while I'm stuffing my face with food. Those child molesting documentaries, man, it's hard for me to watch. I had to stop watching the Jared from Subway one. It's just like, that's my one line in the sand, kids. And although I do a Michael Jackson joke. Sorry, it's the carbonation. My bad. Sorry about that, guys. My bad. I'm going to super chat you guys for that one. Yeah, my bad, bruvs. Just everyone give me your PayPal and I'll super chat you guys for that burp. This might be the worst start to a stream ever, but you know what? I thought, there's people in the chat. No, Sky Blue is a little young for my taste. I didn't know she was like 22 or something. I'm done dating young girls. It never works out for me. I know it really is gross, Misha. But here's the great thing about YouTube: you can watch someone else's stream. I've got 24 people in here. You think my life will change if there's 23? I'm just kidding, Misha. I'm sorry. I'm really hungry. So I understand if you don't like it. Is Miro getting a divorce? Okay. Good luck with that, Misha. I'll be done. Come back in about 2 minutes. I'm just fucking around, Misha. I like BYB. So here's what I'm going to do so I don't lose Misha as a customer. Just stare at the rat sign. I'm done now. And I apologize for my behavior, burping, referring to women about women as gash and beaver belts and puss. I apologize. This is a gross stream, and I highly recommend you all go to BYB right now for the next 5 minutes for punishment, and then come back, please. I like BYB. That's the Quad Fathers podcast, right? The Quad Father was instrumental in trying to get me monetized. Yeah, I know, but I mean, it is rude to eat on stream. I do apologize for that. Um, I know it's probably not very visually appealing for you guys to see me eating like fucking Jethro Bodine out of his cereal bowl, but I've done a lot for the stream business. You know, I try to provide a quality program for you guys. I don't fucking beg for money on here. I don't do 5-hour podcasts just hoping you guys will send me money. So, I apologize. And to show you what a trooper I am, my dessert is 2 protein donuts. I'm not going to eat them on camera. I'm going to wait. I'm going to be hungry for the next 40 minutes. So, I hope you guys appreciate that. Yeah, it's like eating with Earl. Maybe that's the new name of the stream, Eating with Earl. You just watch me eat food. So, I don't like to, when you only have 16 people in a stream, you can't afford to lose one. So, Misha, come back, baby girl. Well, I mean, it might be Dr. No. I'll see you behind Okie Dog. You seem to be very hip on the LA scene of local businesses. Um, Behind Okie Dog, which I believe is on Fairfax and Willoughby. It's called Vaseline Alley, if you know what I'm saying. I'm bummed out. I didn't realize Rampage was on Wednesday night on TBS, and I didn't tape it. I hear the street fight was awesome. If Sky Blue, I'm just putting it out there. If she needs a massage, not like a sexual one. I'd be happy to help. She is. I don't want to say she's my type because I don't really have a type. But yeah, William Zoom gets it. She asked me for a therapy session. I'd give it to her. That's Gabriel Killian. Gabriel Killian, if you want to the hottest in MMA odds, please go to my friend Gabriel Killian. He really is a top MMA. What would you call it? A gambling guru. I used to be good. I was undefeated, I believe, as Gabe will tell you, in the heavyweight division picking fights. But I got to be honest with you, Gabe, and to the 22 people in the stream, I don't like when I could order pay-per-views on DirecTV. It was great. Gabe would come over, Danish and O'Neill, my neighbor Gay Tim, and we'd have like watch parties. But now that it's like streaming, you have to like order it through the UFC site. I don't really watch UFC as much anymore, so I don't know who the top heavyweights are. I mean, I know there's John Jones and Miocic. I know Ngannou is, doing bare knuckle fighting now, making he made more money in his last fight getting knocked out than he did probably his whole UFC career. Thank you, Tool Army. Tool Army, do we know each other? Is it who I think it is? Are your initials CA? CA? Yes. So if you gamble and Gabe, I'm a man of honor. Do you have a website, Gabe, that you give out your picks? Yes, when I would see a UFC fighter, Czech Congo, Josh, the babyface assassin Barnett, Overeem when he was on the horse meat. We would have iconic, legendary UFC watch parties. Jamie Hayter, I've seen her wrestle in person at the Forum. Once again, I don't have a type, but she's attractive. I don't like watching bare knuckles fighting. It's too real for me. I mean, those guys' faces get fucked up. Even in the UFC, when they go to the lower ounce heavyweight gloves, all right, they're not heavyweight gloves. They're, I guess, the same gloves for everyone. there's a little bit of protection. I mean, I'm spoiled because I grew up in the '70s era of boxing. I really don't mind my age because I think all the cool shit I got to see in its prime. When you look at heavyweight boxing in the '70s, think about you had a prime Ali, you had a prime George Foreman, you had a prime Joe Frazier, and even the second tier guys and any other era would have been great. Ken Norton, the great, my favorite heavyweight of all time, Ron Lyle. Um, he's I think the greatest. What if, like, if he wasn't in prison for 7.5 years, I think he would have been a top. I mean, he was beating Foreman until he just got too fucking tired. And then same thing with Ali. He was beating Ali and just, he gassed out. Uh, Ernie Shavers, even a guy like Tex Cobb, who I'm not saying Tex Cobb was like a champion, but like he was a very good, kind of in the pro wrestling term, like a gatekeeper. Like if you could beat Tex Cobb and knock him out, you were good. And no one knocked him out. Although I did see him, it was sad toward the end of his boxing and kickboxing career. I saw him fight at the country club in Reseda, and he got knocked down like 3 times. It's like nobody knocked out Tex Cobb once, let alone 3 times. I mean, I could barely watch fucking excuse me, slap fighting. Philo Beto and Tank Murdoch, Denver Tank Murdoch. I love those Clint Eastwood movies with Clyde the orangutan. And I always used to see the bad guy, William Smith, from the second one. I think he lived in or around West Hollywood. I'd always see him at the gay car wash. I would always see Ed Lauder. 100% Ross. Oh, I thought you were talking about the Jeff we don't talk about on this stream. Well, I think Clyde. I think there's 2 different Clydes because in between the first and the second one, the original Clyde, I guess he got bigger and like was manhandling people. Like it's not a very appealing life to be an orangutan actor. Yeah, William Smith. He was always cool. Good bad guy, good steel faced. I think what was that Clint Eastwood movie? He was in Pale Rider, I think. Always a good bad guy. Yeah, he's kind of an underrated character actor. And speaking of character actors, of course, I'd like to dedicate this episode to the GOAT of character actors who just passed away this week, the great Emmett Walsh. I mean, we could do a fucking 3-hour perspective on his films. Well, that's the thing I love, William, about Jeff Speakman. And he did give credibility to the one action movie he did, I think, The Perfect Weapon, because he was actually a judoka of like some weird style of karate. I mean, my favorite Emmett Walsh movie is a Slapshot. Dickie Dunn, I like to capture the spirit of it. And of course, Red Scorpion with Dolph Lundgren, and I mean, literally hundreds of films. Maybe the most prolific character actor of our time. I mean, he might have the Guinness Book of World Records. I think he clocked in, his final count was at least 150 movies, and not, all of them fairly big. Like Slapshot's a big movie, Fletch is a big movie. I mean, Red Scorpion wasn't like necessarily a big movie, but literally a working actor of 60 years. I mean, I can't even get on my cousin's comedy show. I love Hollywood, baby. So sad, it's sad. We've lost a lot of people who I grew up watching lately. The Jerk. I mean, Carl Weathers passing. Tim Dr. Hook McCracken. I don't know if I'm man enough for Lizzo. I mean, believe me, I've been with some big women before, and you guys know some of them. I mean, the girl I dated, I won't give away the time frame, but it was a couple girlfriends ago. She left quite an impression on me. literally, and my air mattress. Hello. So, and no, I'm not talking about Sweet Home Alabama. Um, is before BC, if you know what I'm saying, BC. Um, that's another podcast. So, yeah, I got. By the way, for you local yokels, I'll be at the Comedy Store tomorrow night, 12:15. Um, I mean, Lizzo's like she's pushing 3 bills, man. I don't even know where I would like. I mean, I'd have to get a miner's cap on. I didn't. PJ Stansberry made love to Blue Iris. I did not, but she liked me because I was like one of the few people who didn't fucking make fun of her all the time. I remember like the day. I don't know if it was the day she died. It might have been the day before she died. I was in there, just talking to her, and she was basically unconscious at that point. And the nurse, it's like a lot of people were going in there to say goodbye to her, and the nurse was like, "Who is this girl?" Um, Earl could get Willow. I mean, Willow Nightingale, she's not bad looking, like, giant jugs and, pretty face. Who, Blue Iris or Willow Nightingale? Hello. Warwick Davis. There's a name from the past. Wasn't Warwick Davis in Van Halen's video for Pretty Woman? I was watching that video the other day. Holy fuck, was that a creepy video? I had no idea that was a dude. I always thought it was just a girl who they made look like a dude. But that's the David Lee Roth influence of Van Halen. Hey, instead of having a hot chick in the video, let's have a dude in it. That's all right though. We're LGBTQ friendly. I don't think I do, Vlad the Impaler. Yeah, I mean, Luther just doesn't add anything. He kind of looks like the butler in Ian Hunter's All of the Good One Are Taken video. I would kill it as a manager. I think Sasha Banks, Mercedes Monet, I think she needs a manager. She wasn't very good on the mic the other night, to be honest with you. She botched a few words. Now I get she hadn't cut a promo in a while, but like that was a little rough. But I mean, if you watch the Van Halen video for Pretty Woman, I really like the dude had a good body. Like, he had female legs. So well, she definitely needs someone as a mouthpiece because that promo was a little rough. And you brought her in with a lot of fanfare, so I think she bumbled on 2 words. I don't like Yerba Mate Assyrian. I've tried it. I've given it a few chances. And they have her kind of now as a baby face. She's much better as a heel. I got something thick you can look at. Yeah, Dave probably knew him. If you know what I'm saying. Let me turn this light off. There we go. Lean back. Makes the sign pop. But that was the 80s. The 80s had so many crazy videos. I remember the first time I saw the Olivia Newton-John video Physical, and I was like very confused. Like, why did all the good-looking guys turn into fat dudes, and then at the end they morph back into good-looking dudes, and then they all walk off with each other because they weren't attracted to Olivia Newton-John? And then like I saw that video like maybe in the early 2000s, and I was like, oh, I get it. And all the did you tell Rogan his show would be better with you on it? I did not say that. I would love to be on the Rogan show. 14 million people listen to that. Oh my God. That would help me so much. But he doesn't owe me anything. I mean, I don't want to say my window of opportunity to do that show is done, but uh, I know one thing: you don't ask him to do it. So I'll just stay the bass player from the Police. Um, that's a cool picture you guys took. I'm jealous. I'm not jealous of many things, but I mean, like if you think like that video, Olivia Newton-John, like that was back when if you were gay, you really wow. Dr. Nova, you are a Skakel family historian with that pull. For those of you knowing, Great Lakes Carbon was my dad's company. I mean, that Dr. Nova, you are intriguing me with who you are. That might even top the Chicken Man Brennan's polls. Great Lakes Carbon, GLC. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but my dad's dad founded that company. But my dad went deep on an oil rigging expedition in the Amazon that if it would have hit, I would be the owner of the Comedy Store many times over. But it did not hit. So luckily, my mom in the horse racing business was the real deal. That would be cool, a Sting cameo. But I'll pay for my own cameo. I don't hit you. I don't have Amazon wish list, and you know, I don't beg for money. Of course, I'm Jewish. I'll take the $1.99 that SXFD sent me and pay him I am. You don't see me returning that. I would have Sambo's as a sponsor, the one in Santa Barbara. Great breakfast omelet. I cannot say who I was with at the time. I'm on a gag order. And so was she. Hello. Boom, boom, boom. But it is crazy that, my dad literally was this close to being a gabillionaire. We're talking Elon Musk type money, but it didn't work out. Your career is like Ted Kennedy's reaction to Chappaquiddick. Hello, Ted Kennedy, the only guy he could have used his head as a flotation device. Fuck, he had a big dome. Well, I'm thinking of doing an OnlyFans where it's just one picture, my dick pic, and see how much money I could make off of it. I'm just curious if I put my dick pic on OnlyFans, how much money I could make just 1 month. Can you do like a one shot only on OnlyFans? I mean, secrets think I'm an entertainer. I believe he watched my set when I was in Austin. I don't know if he was listening because, they have the sound in the green room. They have the two TVs watching the big boy and little boy rooms. And so when I left, the sound was down. I don't know. When I went on stage, Joe said, turn it up. Let me listen to him. But I did very well. I didn't kill, but I did very well. So based on my performance, I should be back at the mothership. But there is, there's a lot of variables that go into playing that club, as there is at the Comedy Store. So I would hope that I would be asked back or whatever on the podcast. My dad was an incredibly interesting guy. And there's really not. I mean, I guess you could say he was like Richard Branson with no money. Like he would just do anything. He was a scratch golfer. He never was taught. He literally taught himself how to be a scratch golfer. Stuff like that, Yeah, basically, William. Leroy, come on now. Kennedy's not going to win. He could have me as his VP. It's he's not going to win. I do find it. I don't talk about politics a lot, but like this is a conversation I'd love to have on Rogan. I think Kennedy's going to pull votes from both Trump and Biden because Trump's like Kiss. Kiss never had that 10, 15, 20 million selling album, like say Def Leppard or Bon Jovi or Metallica. Even in their prime, they would sell 3 to 4 million records, and that was their fan base. Never more than that, really never less than that. And Trump's like that. He's got his base, and he's not going to have anyone else voting for him. Um, and then he's got Republicans who want to vote for anyone but Trump. That's where Kennedy takes from him. And then Biden is the same thing, really. Biden has his Democrats who are voting for him, even if they don't like him because they don't want Trump to win. But then you've got a lot of Democrats who don't want to vote for Biden. That's where Kennedy takes from Biden. So it's going to be a very interesting election, I think. Kevin Hart is out of control, but he did vote for me in roast battle, so I'll give him that. Good for you, William. Yeah, I mean, The Voice is like, people joke about it, but like, no one's going to want to listen to that for a 2-hour debate. Rat and roll. Yeah, I mean, I would say my cousin's voice sounds like Harvey Firestein with a frog in his voice. Oh, do we have a new listener here? Jeannie. I mean, I would pay someone to run my OnlyFans. I bet you I can make good money. But I'd want to do I'd want to do it anonymously. I can't have my name out there in the OnlyFans world. I want people to talk about my comedy, not how great my dick looks. I could be like the Tim Dillon of Patreon, but on OnlyFans. I don't know, Ross. I think little by little you're seeing. I love how we're going back and forth between my dick pic and Trump's chances of winning. I think. I mean, right now it's pretty much a dead heat. But I do think that the trials are. People are going to start to go, hey man, I can't vote for a guy with 91 felony charges or whatever it is. Yeah, I mean, he is pretty jacked. I saw a picture of him the other day with Tim Dillon where he's fucking pumped. Uh, yes, rest in peace, Bush. Um, I mean, it's going to be fascinating, the debates, but, both of them are just, it's going to be like watching 280-year-olds argue on YouTube about who's better, Van Halen or Stevie Ray Vaughan. And inevitably, the third comment is the other guy going, fuck you. And then the fourth comment is me calling the other guy a maggot. Matt Rife. I mean, Matt Rife's killing it. I don't mind him. I really don't. Because he was a grinder for like 8 to 10 years, man. Struggling, couldn't get on lineups, could only get on potluck at the store every now and then. And now he can play any fucking place he wants. I like that shit. Gives me hope. Because I'm actually funny. Hello. I can't say Matt Rife's funny or not. I've never watched him. Oh, 100% William Zoom. They both have closet skeletons in the closet. I just they're two pretty bad candidates when you break it down. It's like you're literally picking between a rotten apple and a rotten orange. So that's where I think Kennedy comes in, and if Kennedy gets, say, anywhere from 3 to 7% of the vote, that could swing the election in a dead heat election. Yeah, I mean, we could talk all day about great guitar players, but I mean, this election is going to be wild, man. And if Trump loses, who knows what's going to go. There'll be a couple of January 6s, but that's why I think. I mean, I don't know, like, it's just it's like asking someone, what concert do you want to go to? Dokken with no original members or the Oak Ridge Boys. So you got to pick one, I guess. I'll go with Dawkins with Jeff Scott Soto singing. I mean, if he were smart, you're right, because then you take the Kennedy votes and you swing them your way. That's actually a very good idea. Like, it sounds like you're kidding, William, but that's actually a really good idea. I mean, it would be funny if The Rock entered into it. I bet you The Rock would win if he entered. Um, so I love politics. I don't talk about it a lot on this stream, but um, I'll definitely be at the Weezer show. Elvira, a giddy up, boom bop, ooh, mow, mow. I could have done that part of the song. Um, so I love politics. I love the all three networks imploding around them. You've got CNN and MSNBC to the left. Obviously, Fox is to the right. Ricky Morton, my buddy from the Ric Flair roast. Dr. Nova, I would doubt that they are louder than Motorhead. I once saw Motorhead play at the House of Blues, which is now the Pendry Hotel. Um, I saw Motorhead play so fucking loud that Slash went on stage to join them for a couple songs. I think the first song was Born to Raise Hell, and he was supposed to play, like, I don't know, another song, and he left after Born to Raise Hell. He's like, it's too loud up there. That's Slash saying it's too loud. Ricky Martin, very cool, very nice. His son was great. I remember when, and Jordan would remember this, when Ricky Morton and his son faced off against Arn Anderson's kid, and I forget who Arn's kid's tag team partner was, but I think Arn Anderson's kid kicked Ricky Morton in the head too hard, like for real. So after the match, Ricky Morton asked me who won. I was like, huh? You were just in the match. Well, I don't know if it's a big show tonight. I'm testing out doing like hour streams. Want you guys to want more. I mean, last night I was getting a lot of super chats in the last 10 minutes, and I probably could have stayed on another half hour to bilk you guys for money. But I was like, this is it. I said I'm ending at 8:30. 8:31, I was off the air. Well, I mean, for me, 35 is pretty good, to be honest with you. Now, I'm sure people from that world that ends in verse will be like, oh, you only got 35 people. You know what? I'll take it. I've been streaming, monetized style for 2.5 months. So is it would I love for there to be 500 people in this stream right now? I absolutely would. But I'm trying to be more consistent, and hopefully it picks up. Well, I mean, I can say, as someone who probably went to about 30 Motorhead shows over the years, dating one of their managers. There's no way that any band on earth is louder than them. And I've been to, Kiss at the Troubadour, where they bought their full sound system. Nothing beats a Motorhead show in terms of loudness. Their show at the Ventura Theater I was at, like, I had to walk out a few times. It was just too fucking loud, man. You got to give it to Ricky, man. He lives the gimmick, baby. So we're going to do an hour stream tonight. So we got 10 more minutes for you guys to ask wacky questions or whatever. I like guys who live the gimmick. Buff Bagwell lived the gimmick. That's a great Dark Side of the Ring. I'm a bigger fan of Buff the Bagwell. I didn't know how hardcore he was. Yeah, but that's a money grab, Quadruple A. Because there's no way a 24-hour stream is going to be interesting. It's just like, I would literally be happy to say, I got a super chat for $5. I don't do shit like that. Would it be fun to try? There's no way I could stay up 24 straight hours. Although it would be funny if I just did a 24-hour stream and I wasn't even on it. It would be like this. Here are my protein donuts. I bet you I'd make a lot of super chats if I just had the stream going for 24 hours. Yeah, I mean, wrestlers get fucked over. Yeah, I mean, listen, there's all kinds of things that I'm experimenting with time slots. Although I will say that the 5 p.m. time slot does seem to be working for me. This is Friday night. It's early enough for even people on the East Coast to, right before they go out or go to a movie dinner, and then obviously here it's 6 p.m. Um, I'm trying really to. Yes, I realize that people from the Dabbleverse are going to come in here, and I welcome them. But I also, I want to get hockey fans in here. Hockey's a very, if you look up like hockey fight videos on YouTube, or like the other night, P.L. Dubois, the center for the LA Kings, he caused like a huge brawl. There's this pen I have. And it's a very controversial brawl, because he wouldn't fight back against the guy who was killing him. Tom Wilson got another suspension today for high sticking a guy in the face. And, Chris Simon, rest in peace, Chris Simon, he passed away this week. So, I want to get in, obviously wrestling is a very controversial subject. So I'd love to get those people in here, not arguing, but, playfully bantering. And, SCV ID show. If you have a Dabbleverse question, you can super chat me whatever you think is fair. How about that? I will take Dabbleverse questions, but you have to super chat me whatever you think is fair. I've had to make a rule. If I see a super chat question, or if I see a Dabbleverse question for free in the stream, I can't answer it. I won't even acknowledge it. Views on drinking raw eggs. Lars, are you a new listener to the Earl show? I've never done it before, to be honest with you. Earl, who would you bang, Lizzo or Madonna? Oh boy, that's a tough one. Probably Lizzo. Madonna, like I don't know if I want to see any 60-year-old woman naked. I mean, I'm 55, but my shit looks tight. Tighter than a clam with lockjaw, baby dolls. But maybe they wouldn't fuck me. I never like saying I wouldn't fuck someone because I probably would. Pew! Do you share Dice Man's love of disco? I love disco. The Tramps, Disco Inferno. That's a great song. I mean, Kiss had a great disco album, Dynasty. I like the Gene Simmons songs, Charisma. What is my charisma? Is it my fortune or my fame? Do I drive you insane? What is my charisma? What is it I've got? What is it about me that makes you so hot? Aha. The Moonraker theme. That's a good, just like the Moonraker goes, I see your touch. That's my favorite James Bond opening of all the James Bonds, when he's in the airplane. And it's a great opening shot of Roger Moore's hand going up the girl's legs. Any higher, Mr. Bond, and my ears will pop. And then he gets into the fight with the pilot, and then Jaws pushes him out of the plane. Like, you didn't see that coming. And great, like, if you watch the beginning of Moonraker, like, clearly Richard Kiel wasn't the guy doing the stunt in the sky, and how they tried to trick the camera into making the stuntman look like Richard Kiel, even though I'm sure there's no stuntman on Earth that was 7'2", whatever Richard Kiel was, 300 pounds. I also like the ski sequence to A Spy Who Loved Me. That jump, like, that's a fucking great stunt. Lizzo. There's no way I could fuck Grace Jones. She has a better body than me. Get the fuck out of here. I don't have a type. I mean, if you were to ask me, okay, you've got to pick one James Bond girl. Could be like one of the leads, like Dr. Holly Goodhead, uh, or it could be like one of the, like one of the Hugo Drax's girls. I would say when Roger Moore and Barbara Bach check into the hotel room and there's the busty concierge girl or the helicopter girl they blew up in the same episode. Yeah, I mean, there's some great James Bond openings. I think the Roger Moore ones were the best. Yeah, I mean, Britney Spears is fucking crazy. So, that's why crazy girls always have boyfriends or husbands. Like, the sex is mind blowing. Yeah, I mean, Grace Jones. I mean, great. I mean, she's very beautiful. Like, no makeup. She looks like, I mean, her skin is flawless and her body's like amazing. And you could tell she probably doesn't even literally work out. She just has an amazing body. But I loved, I mean, The Spy Who Loved Me. I love that. Nobody does it better. I wasn't looking, but somehow you found me. It's kind of a stalker vibe there. All right, we got about 3 more minutes, guys. Well, I mean, Dr. Nova, I mean, it's I think the James Bond, in terms of who you like, um, it's a generational thing. Like, with a previous girlfriend, I won't say their name. Sweet Home Alabama. She had never seen a Roger Moore James Bond, and I had never seen a Daniel Craig James Bond. So we watched, I think, Casino Royale and Moonraker, and we both had the same feelings. Like, she didn't like Roger Moore. She's like, this acting's horrible. And I was like, with Daniel Craig, this acting's too good. Like, he's too dry. Like, he's too serious. But I say that because I grew up with Roger Moore, basically playing a campy James Bond, like the humor and, um, I think, and I like the two Timothy Dalton Bonds, especially the one with Robert Davi and Benicio del Toro's bad guys. But that kind of was over the top. Well, I think, I mean, I watched the 4 James Bond. I think it was 4, the original 4 with Sean Connery. I'd actually never seen them. And I liked them. Like, they were good. I mean, great bad guys: Telly Savalas, Yaphet Kotto, Christopher Lee. Uh, and then I just taped the one with George Lazenby. I've actually never seen it. So I'm gonna check that out. And I just Roger Moore was like my childhood James Bond. So I remember going to Westwood to see Spy Who Loved Me, and I remember going to Westwood to see Moonraker, and the one after Moonraker that kind of lost me. It wasn't bad, it wasn't good. And then, even as a kid, I'm like, he kind of seems old to be James Bond. And Roger Moore was born in 27. So in Moonraker, he was, what was that, 50, 51, 52? Yeah, Carrie Lowell was hot. Syrian, I think you're making a funny there. But then I think the story with Octopussy and View to a Kill was they had wanted Pierce Brosnan to take over. He couldn't do it because of commitments. So I think, and then I think, who almost became James Bond, and it's interesting, the guy who died in the ski scene of The Spy Who Loved Me, he was being, because Roger Moore almost left the franchise several times. He was being groomed. and I don't mean in an LA comedy way, pew, to be James Bond. So that would have been interesting because he was kind of a good-looking guy. And then, Timothy Dalton, I think the problem with his James Bonds were he was just too good of an actor. Like he was, but I do like his darker take, especially in the one with Robert Davi, where he was like a vengeance-seeking James Bond. Um, I really liked that, and I loved. I mean, like you said, William Carey Lowell was like, wow. Like once again, not I don't have a type, but like she was so beautiful in that movie. Um, and I think that, and Anthony Zerbe, he was in the Kiss movie, Phantom of the Park. He was a good bad guy in that one. Um, and Wayne Newton, he was pretty funny in his scene when he's trying to fuck Carrie Lowell. And, I don't know. I think, like, I loved, I mean, Dalton's probably my second favorite James Bond. So even though he was only there for two, yeah, License to Kill. I was forgetting the name of it, but and you also had the great Frank McRae. A very good. He was in Used Cars and Lock Up with Stallone, and Grand Bush was in the License to Kill. Even though I asked him to be on my podcast, and he said no, but that's fine. Um, but I think it was too big of a leap from Roger Moore to Timothy Dalton. Like it was just like, okay, the last James Bond was like basically doing stand up, and now this guy's like seeking revenge. I'm gonna watch the Lazenby Bond, Lazenby Bond, probably tomorrow. And I watched like the first 5 minutes. It didn't really grab me. Like he's in the ocean, trying to save some broad. It looks like she's trying to commit suicide, and then. But I'll give it a shot. Yeah, Gold Hog. I like your style. I like your opinion. Whoever's Vlad the Impaler. Would you bang Bridget Nielsen? I would bang her in Cobra. I wouldn't bang her now. Who would be a good James Bond now? I mean, the guy who was in Oppenheimer, but we're 3 minutes into overtime here. I guess I scared off the Dabbleverse question. But playing James Bond for him probably would be a bit of a letdown. Like, you think, wow, what actor wouldn't want to play James Bond? But it does kind of hamstring you into the franchise. I would have been cool with Idris Elba being James Bond. I mean, Tom Hardy would be cool. Yeah, but I can't stream all night Sour Milk because then it's just me basically holding a Earlverse stream marathon. Johnny Zapp, the Johnny Zapp attack. I haven't seen Johnny Zapp in a while. I hope he's alive. People be dying around me left and right. I mean, just had another comic die last week. You know, so now I have not seen all of the Daniel Craig James Bond movies. They were just too like the acting was too good. We will name the new Steve Stevens. The ray gun has now been christened Johnny Zapp. But I can't show you the powers of the ray gun unless someone super chats me. See, that's a little ploy. And I could see you guys out. Oh my God, Earl's asking for money. He's selling out. Well, I believe Idris Elba was in contention for James Bond, but he might be too old. And I've been hearing rumors that it might be a female James Bond. I mean, come on, man. I'm all for women's rights, but come on. Why not have a trans James Bond? And Q, Q could make the first dick gun. Well, I mean, maybe that could be a weapon Q could make. The Dick Laser gun. That'd be a good porn name, Dick Laser. Yeah, I mean, I haven't heard the word poon in a while. Yeah, I mean, there's Lois Childs and Moonraker. Like, Um, she was pretty attractive. Maud Adams and Octopussy. Tanya Roberts. But it's funny. Even though Roger Moore is my favorite James Bond, it's not very believable that he could win a fight. Like I'm watching that scene in the pyramids with Jaws. When they're fighting, I was like, okay, this is not very believable that Roger Moore could beat up Jaws. Uh, but who's watching James Bond for believability, especially in the 70s? My favorite James Bond bad guy. Well, but I mean, 51, it's not old to me. I mean, I'm 55, but like to have your first film, I don't see them going with a 51-year-old actor because then you got to think we want the next James Bond probably to be in the next 2 to 4 films. And you're not going to have Idris Elba at 60 playing James Bond. Um, so I think ideally they would probably want a guy late 20s, early 30s, maybe early 30s. So he looks a little like he could kick ass like a Tom Hardy or someone of that level. I mean, maybe Liam Hemsworth, although he's probably too physically big. Um, so it'll be interesting to see who they go with. But I also think the James Bond franchise has been watered down with like I watched Jack Ryan on Amazon with John Krasinski, and he's really good at that's basically Amazon's James Bond. Like he was really good in that. I think this is the guy from The Office, and now he's a superhero. Hey, we got 43 likes, man. Let's get it to 50 before I end this stream. Pretty please. I don't ask you guys for much. And I'm still hungry, and I'm waiting till we're off camera to eat these. I mean, I would think. I mean, Brad Pitt looks pretty good. It would be fun to see him as James Bond, but he's probably early 50s. You know, I'm trying to think. Ryan Reynolds would be pretty funny, but I mean, he would probably play it like Roger Moore. Um, what was the last Bond movie? You walked out of the Last of the Mohicans, a Michael Mann movie. Come on now. Although I wanted to walk out of Miami Vice, the movie. Um, well, I just don't know. Like, now everything's ruined with CGI. I know we're almost at 50 likes. I've given you guys 8 minutes of overtime. Now, before we end the stream, I'd like to thank the fan funders, Pam I Am and SXD7. Thank you very much. We've had some fun on a Friday night. Yeah, I mean, I've given up with the superhero movies, to be honest with you. I just and now you have to watch them in order or you're lost in what the plot line is. Like I barely got through what was it, Flash with Michael Keaton. I mean, he was good in it. I do love him as Batman. Miami Vice. Well, I understand that you can't do a replica of the TV show for a movie in the early 2000s. Hey, we're at 50 likes. Thank you guys. Mucho gracias. It's only the second time a stream has hit 50 likes. Um, I just, like to me, I would have had Don Johnson and Philip Michael Thomas play their bosses. So you give a little shout out to the 80s. I'd have Edward James Olmos as maybe in a scene or two. Hell, even throw the original Switek and Zito a bone as like homeless guys or something. Just something where fans of the TV show could be happy. And then you get Colin Farrell and Jamie Foxx fans, and everyone, walks away happy. But that Miami Vice movie, it just looked like a Bad Boys movie, um, which is too bad because Jamie Foxx won an Oscar for playing Ray Charles. He didn't get one for playing Tubbs. I'll tell you that much. Yeah, you could have had almost come out of retirement. Maybe it's you could tie it into like maybe the Golden Triangle episode where, guys from, you know, that era of Castillo's life are coming back to kill him. He's a retired, detective living in wherever, and they've got him. They're torturing him, and you could have, the new Crockett and Tubbs try and rescue him, and you could definitely throw cameos to like Switek and Zito and Gina and Trudy, so that way people, you get the nostalgia from the original show, but then you also please the modern fans who probably never watched Miami Vice, so they don't know who fucking Switek and Zito are. So you please everyone, but it's pretty hard to criticize Michael Mann. I'm curious. I hear rumors of a Heat prequel. Now, Michael Mann usually uses a lot of the same actors, which was surprising that he didn't use like Don Johnson in the movie. Now, maybe he asked Don Johnson. Don Johnson's probably sick of Sonny Crockett, so maybe he said no. I don't know. I'm sure Philip Michael Thomas would be on board. Trust me on that one. So we're gonna end the stream now, kiddies. But is that the one with Andre Braugher, Robbery Homicide Division? Yes, best gunfight scene, which was kind of a loosely based on the Northridge bank robbery. Yeah, well, I think Jack Kilmer is looks like his dad. I don't know. I know my friend represents him, so maybe Jack Kilmer could play his dad. That'd be pretty cool. Well, LA Takedown. Well, not really, William. LA Takedown. I mean, I would say Heat was just a bigger budgeted version of LA Takedown, but it didn't really go like I think the Heat prequel is going to go into like younger versions of Neil McCauley and Val Kilmer's character and Tom Sizemore and Dennis Haysbert. Uh, but here's a little trivia that I know William Zoom would be into, is that the only actor to be in both LA Takedown and Heat the movie was Xander Berkeley, who in the LA Takedown actually played the character of Waingro, but in Heat he played Diana Venore's husband, or like ex-husband. So that's a little bit of Michael Mann trivia. So we got 1.5 more minutes. I mean, I watched LA Takedown on YouTube the other day. I mean, it's interesting to watch. Basically, 90% of the same dialogue with the great Alex McCarthy um, in it. I was actually in. This is one of the great. I don't even know if William Zoom would remember this show. I was in an episode of a show Alex McCarthy was in, where he played a man who got amnesia. He was always trying to find out who he was. It's very similar to the Fox show John Doe, which I liked. But it was on NBC. It was a one-season show called The Fifth Corner. And, the first episode got pretty big ratings. And then the next week, I think it was like 91. When did the Gulf War start? 91. We invaded Iraq, and that week was the second episode. So obviously it got preempted for war coverage. And then like the next couple weeks, it was all war coverage. And then I think they aired the second episode in the ratings to a huge dive. But it was a great idea for a show. It's very similar to John Doe on Fox with the great actor Dominic Purcell from Prison Break. All right, we got 7 seconds before I hit the stream button. All right. Earl Skakel, Friday Night Live. I appreciate you guys. We're going to try this tomorrow night at 5 p.m. Saturday night, and then Sunday night's the flagship stream. Maybe 5 o'clock's the time for the stream. This could, I'm going to experiment. Numbers were pretty good tonight. 52 likes. It's only second to the one Sunday night stream where I had like 117 likes. I don't know why that was so popular, but I appreciate you guys. And I'll see you tomorrow night, 5 p.m. Friday night. Earl Skakel out.